Okay, folks. Trump derangement syndrome is real, and it's about time you've seen it firsthand and understand what the problem is and what we need to do to fix it. Now, you can just watch for yourself here, people.
Watch this.
Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a winner?
State and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote in California.
They're crooked, just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
really.
Let's
well,
continue.
You play right into their hands.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
you play
continue.
right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But, Mr. President,
you know why I got that? Because you have no credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd.
You have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
your
about
elections in this country. We're like a third world country.
But, sir,
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an
Wisconsin.
hour, on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be great with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we
Come on,
traveled
let's go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Then he steps on the microphone. This is the real Donald Trump. And you people don't realize it. You've been hoodwinked. You've been used. And you stand behind this guy. I got targeted in 1996 because they want to use this guy so that they can use his name in buildings so that they can launder money for the Russians. And Trump knew he was being used that way, laundering money for the Russians. Also, they're laundering money for the Mexican and the Colombian drug cartels. Cost me $40 to $55 million because of it. Money laundering Green Berets, chasing me for decades, following me around. Like, people don't realize this, I've been really nice about this guy. This guy is not a nice man. You've seen right there how this person acts in real life. And we're going to look at a few others. They're going to show you the exact same thing. It's not just this one person that's put it out here now. Here's another one. Bulwark.
Trump. People kept telling me how crazy it was, how insane he seems.
And you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC.
And so rather than, go back and punish myself with that, I figured that I would just come here and blind react to the interview with you guys. I'm hoping that many of you also had a lovely Sunday morning like I did and didn't spend it watching Donald Trump. And for those of you who are like me, we can kind of just experience this together. My guy Matt is here. He didn't have a great morning. He suffered through the Donald Trump interview and others. And so he's put together, some of the lowlights, if you will. And so why don't we go through them one at a time? Here's the President of the United States on Meet the Press this morning with Kristen Welker. The first clip, wait, I don't know what it's about. You show me.
So is this a war as long as there's a naval blockade in place?
Well, we have a blockade. It's been extremely effective. And the reason we have it is they try to blockade, and now we blockaded them. And as you know, they're losing $400 to $500 million a day. It's not sustainable for them. They have an economy that's shot in addition to everything else. Their leaders are gone. Their generals are gone. Their first tier and second tier are gone. Much of their third tier is gone. But they put up a blockade, and so we blockaded them, and we have the ultimate blockade. I don't consider that a war, but if you want to define it as such, I guess you can.
Well, how do you define it?
I don't define it at all. I don't think about it. I just do what I have to do.
I don't think about it. This is how blockades work, right? You just blockade their blockade, and then someone else blockades your blockade. And if you're blockading all the blockades, then you're not really in a war. It doesn't really solve any of the issues. And I think that what you hear there from Trump is him trying to offer, I think, what he thinks is his offering from this war.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Trump's getting bored of this. He thought it would be a slam dunk. He'd get in and out, and then he can invade the next country, which probably would have been Cuba. Guy creates pain and suffering for people all around the world, and you allow this, you tolerate this, you acquiesce to that, and then you just discuss back and forth. Look at what this guy's doing. Doge. They steal Social Security data information. What do you think? 10-time vote in Michigan using an app. Stealing voter data from Alberta. You know, they're targeting everywhere around the world. They want to make America great again at the expense of everybody else in the world. They've had a long run of monopolizing the financial system around the world, and now the U.S. is going to use it to their advantage. And how do they use it to their advantage? They're going to bully each and every person and country in the world and make sure they acquiesce to whatever their demands are. International Criminal Court judges, whether they've been in Finland or Canada, have been targeted by the financial system, which is controlled by the United States of America. Sanctions. Funny how this guy, Putin, gets no tariffs. This guy Trump wants to do a deal with Putin, wants to do trade with him. Meanwhile, you're going to realize more trade with Canada than Russia, but that doesn't matter. They don't want it that way. The Epstein class of people, William Barr, witnessed rape. It's on FBI documents. William Barr, Attorney General, that basically said the Mueller report, nothing here. William Barr, with Putin's part of the Epstein files, other world leaders, Tony Blair is another one of them, Howard Lutnick, laundering money, Ponzi schemes. And then he gets caught in a lie with the Epstein files recently. And so what does he do? He does a backroom deal with the Congress, pays them $5 million so that he doesn't have to go on the record. Gets away scot-free. Like, it's time to stop this nonsense. Peter Thiel of Palantir, Elon Musk. And look at Palantir. They're into the UK. They're stealing information, sensitive data of people in the United States or UK, United Kingdom. They're fostering a far right-wing movement around the world. Who's benefiting? Their friends. And it's about time you put a stop to it. This Trump derangement syndrome, it comes from Trump himself. He's the deranged one. He's the puppet that's being used, and he likes money. He likes greed. He likes money. And the fact of the matter, he's illiterate, does not understand cause and effect. And you should wonder why Epstein died of suicide. Jean-Luc, in a French prison, died of suicide. Virginia Giuffre, Australia, died of suicide. Too many coincidences there. The patterns are apparent. You see what's going on. Now you really see this guy in action.
He doesn't want to go back in. He's been totally humiliated. It is now about 100 days since he demanded unconditional surrender from Iran for the war to end. Since then, we have been negotiating with them.
Unconditional surrender. And the Iran war, that was wide open. Strait of Hormuz was wide open. No longer wide open. It's going to cause an energy crisis worldwide. It's going to cause a famine worldwide. And why?
Let's talk about...
And why? Because of this guy? This guy right here? This is how he is.
Elections in this country, we're like a third world country. Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC, and CBS, and CNN.
But Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits, because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain with you for an hour, on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press, because you know what?
Mr. President,
a country can never be great with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
So there you go. This guy, Donald Trump, This guy, Donald Trump. It's about time you got rid of this guy. But there is one good thing about him. He shows the world what not to believe in, how not to behave, because there's no reason for this pain and suffering worldwide. And furthermore, why is Israel and the United States causing this pain and suffering? Look at the situation in the Middle East now. Palestine, there was supposed to be a shared state. Israel didn't have any land anywhere. It's only since 1947 they created that for Israel in British Palestine, and before British Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire. So the world's gone out of its way to create a position where the Jewish people can have a shared state with the Arabs, and that was Israel and Palestine. It's supposed to be a two-state situation. How's that going? And you can blame this side or that side. Both sides are culpable. But right now, Israel's way out of control. Bertrand Russell stated back in 1970 that the Israelis were out of line, and they've continued since the Suez War to take new land against international laws. They squat, they build on it, and they don't give the land back. This is no way to live for anybody. Let's stop this nonsense now. People should not have to suffer. The affordability crisis is because of people like Trump and the ilk, and how they've created a situation where we have affordability situation. They're not going to fix it. $4.5 trillion in the big beautiful bill went to the top 1 in 10%. If it went to the bottom, it might make life a lot better. If it regularly went to the bottom, it'd make life a lot better. In Canada, conservatives don't want deficits, but they don't realize how money goes into the system. Even just 10% of what the U.S. did with the deficit for their top 1 to 10%, even if we in Canada did 10%, and we're population-wise 17% of the United States, but just 10%, $450 billion. Do you know how that would help the affordability situation and start creating a new foundation to build upon differently? It's really just as simple as that, and this is why I say, let go of the pain and suffering, because that's a loop. It's a subconscious loop. You can make that decision now. Just start by being kind to yourself. Move into a state of benevolence, harmony, and abundance. And you just got to make that position. It's a change. It starts with you. Then you deal with your family in the same manner. Deal with your community. Deal with your neighbor. We're human beings. We're not different races. We're not to be divided by religion and culture. We're all human beings. Embrace the difference of each and every person and live in harmony and abundance. So, questions, comments, throw in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Love and peace to everyone. Take care. Ciao for now.